Never eat egg with these 4 foods. It can cause serious health problems. Eggs have long held their place as a beloved breakfast choice across cultures, packed with protein and loaded with essential nutrients. But what if the way you've been pairing them is quietly working against your health? You see, while eggs themselves are incredibly nourishing, certain everyday food combinations, ones we barely question, may be silently fueling inflammation, reducing nutrient absorption, and even increasing your long-term risk of chronic illness. In today's video, we're diving into 3 surprisingly common but scientifically problematic foods you should never combine with eggs. This isn't about cutting eggs out of your life. Far from it. It's about learning how to eat them smarter. Because just a small change in how you prepare your plate can lead to big improvements in your energy, digestion, and overall vitality, especially as we age. So stick with me to the end, because the final food combo we reveal is one most people never think twice about. And it could be the hidden reason your body's been feeling sluggish lately. All right, let's get to it. Here's the first food combination you should never eat with eggs and why it may be doing more harm than you think. Mistake 1. Eggs and soy. The healthy-looking combo that quietly works against you now. Let's shift from a heavy breakfast to something that looks far more innocent, maybe even virtuous. Imagine a plate of tofu scrambled with eggs, or a glass of soy milk alongside your morning omelet. On the surface, it sounds like a healthy, plant-forward choice. And for many people over 50 who are trying to cut down on red meat or eat cleaner, it seems like the right move. But here's where things get a little tricky. Soy is a fascinating ingredient. It's packed with plant-based protein, isoflavones, and has even been linked to reduced cholesterol when eaten as part of a balanced diet. Eggs, of course, bring their own powerhouse of nutrients: choline for brain function, vitamin B12 for energy, and high-quality protein to maintain muscle mass. So what's the issue? It comes down to how the body processes these proteins, especially when they're consumed together. You see, soy contains naturally occurring compounds called trypsin inhibitors. These compounds interfere with the enzyme trypsin, which plays a key role in breaking down protein in your digestive system. According to research from the Journal of Nutrition and Metabolism, when trypsin inhibitors are consumed in large amounts or in the same meal as other protein-rich foods, like eggs, they can reduce the efficiency of protein digestion and absorption, and that's a problem, particularly for older adults. After the age of 50, our ability to digest and utilize protein gradually declines. This makes it more difficult to maintain muscle mass, strength, and stamina, things that directly impact balance, mobility, and independence as we age. Dr. Stuart Phillips, a professor of kinesiology at McMaster University, explains, protein quality and timing are everything for older adults. If you're not absorbing what you eat, your muscles aren't benefiting. But it's not just the protein that gets compromised. Egg whites naturally contain a compound called avidin, which binds to biotin, a B vitamin essential for energy metabolism, nerve health, and healthy skin and hair. When soy is added to the mix, the combined interference from trypsin inhibitors and avidin can further reduce the bioavailability of biotin, especially if the meal is undercooked or not balanced with supportive nutrients. The result? A meal that looks great on the plate, but leaves you feeling tired, bloated, or strangely unsatisfied. Over time, it could even contribute to subtle signs of deficiency, like thinning hair, brittle nails, or persistent fatigue that seems to have no clear cause. Have you ever had a meal that left you feeling unexpectedly heavy or foggy, even though everything on the plate seemed healthy? You're not alone. And thankfully, there's a simple fix. Instead of pairing eggs with soy-based proteins, try combining them with vegetables that actively support nutrient absorption and digestion. Lightly sautéed spinach, for example, is rich in folate and iron, which enhance the benefits of eggs without competing for absorption. Mushrooms are another fantastic option. They bring antioxidants and a natural umami flavor while offering compounds that help modulate gut health. Plus, they're gentle on digestion, which is something our bodies truly appreciate with age. And don't forget healthy fats. Cooking your eggs in a small amount of extra virgin olive oil or adding a few slices of avocado can make all the difference. These fats help absorb fat-soluble vitamins like A, D, E, and K, and give your meal the staying power it needs to keep you energized for hours. This is what smarter eating looks like. Not giving up the foods you love, but learning how to combine them in ways that work with your body, not against it. If you're finding this insight helpful, feel free to tap that like button. It helps more people discover tips that could change their health too. And if you've ever struggled with low energy after a healthy breakfast, share your experience in the comments below. You might be surprised how many others relate. For more science-backed guidance, don't forget to subscribe Golden Wise Elders and turn on notifications. We've got so much more coming to help you stay strong, sharp, and energized through your 50s, 60s, and beyond. Now, while some meals may look light and healthy but quietly work against your body, like soy and eggs, others come with a different kind of problem. They feel warm, hearty, and comforting, but they overload your system in ways you may not even realize. Let's talk about one such classic combo: eggs and goose meat. Mistake 2. Eggs and goose meat, when hearty, becomes too heavy. For many people, there's something deeply comforting about a hearty home-cooked breakfast. 2 fried eggs with crisp edges, maybe a few thick slices of roasted goose, and a hot cup of coffee. It feels familiar, warm, nourishing. And if you grew up in a household where food was love, like Frank did, this kind of breakfast means more than nutrition. It's tradition. Frank Johnson, a 67-year-old retired veteran living in Denver, would cook this exact meal every Sunday. It was his way of rewarding himself after a week of staying active and eating light. But over the past year, Frank started noticing something didn't feel right. After his goose and egg breakfast, he'd feel sluggish, bloated, not just full, but drained. He'd often end up lying on the couch, skipping his morning walk. At first, he blamed the weather, then his age. But during a routine blood test, his doctor found elevated LDL cholesterol, borderline high triglycerides, and early signs of fatty liver. It was a wake-up call Frank didn't see coming. So what went wrong? Here's the science. Eggs are rich in protein, vitamins, and healthy fats. There's no denying that. One large egg contains about 186 milligrams of dietary cholesterol, mostly found in the yolk. According to the American Heart Association, adults should limit their daily cholesterol intake to no more than 300 milligrams, and even less if they have heart disease, diabetes, or elevated LDL levels. Now consider goose meat. It's delicious, yes, but also extremely rich. A typical 3-ounce serving of roasted goose with skin contains about 85 milligrams of cholesterol and nearly 9 grams of saturated fat. More than triple what you'd get from skinless chicken breasts. Put those two together in one meal, and you're consuming over 270 milligrams of cholesterol, plus a large dose of saturated fat, all at once. Why does this matter, especially after 50? As we age, our metabolism naturally slows down. Our liver becomes less efficient at processing excess fat and cholesterol. Saturated fat, in particular, has been strongly linked in studies published by the Harvard T.H. Chan School of Public Health to increased LDL, bad cholesterol, which raises the risk of atherosclerosis, heart attack, and stroke. And cholesterol overload doesn't just affect the heart. The liver, your body's detox center, also has to work overtime to metabolize large, heavy meals. In many older adults, this leads to non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, a silent condition that affects nearly 1 in 3 Americans over age 60, according to data from the National Institutes of Health. So when Frank was feeling tired, foggy, and heavy after breakfast, it wasn't just aging. It was his body struggling to process a meal it could once handle with ease. But here's the good news. It doesn't take much to change course. Instead of pairing eggs with rich fatty meats like goose, try combining them with ingredients that support digestion and metabolic health. Lightly steamed vegetables like spinach, asparagus, or zucchini offer fiber and antioxidants that ease digestion and help balance cholesterol levels. The fiber binds to excess cholesterol and helps your body eliminate it naturally before it ever becomes a problem. If you're craving something savory and satisfying, saute some mushrooms in a bit of extra virgin olive oil. Mushrooms contain compounds that support liver function, and olive oil adds healthy monounsaturated fats that help reduce inflammation and protect your arteries. Or for a creamy texture without the heaviness of goose, slice up a ripe avocado. It's rich in heart-healthy fats and helps your body absorb fat-soluble nutrients from eggs, like vitamin D and choline, which are especially important for brain and bone health after age 50. The key is to support your body, not challenge it. After 50, our meals need to work with us, not against us. And if you've ever felt like Frank, tired, heavy, or just off after a protein-packed breakfast, it might be worth rethinking your food pairings. Have you ever had eggs and fatty meat in the same meal? How did you feel afterward? Let us know in the comments below. Your experience might help someone else make a smarter choice for their health. If you're finding this helpful, consider giving this video a like. And if you haven't already, tap that subscribe button. We share weekly videos like this to help you eat smarter, feel stronger, and age with energy. Up next, we're taking on another surprising food pairing that could be slowing down your digestion and robbing your body of key minerals, especially iron. And it all starts with your morning cup of tea. Let's talk about eggs and tea and why the timing of your sips might matter more than you think. Mistake 3. Eggs and tea. The comforting combo that quietly steals your nutrients. There's something so peaceful about a quiet morning. The steam rising from a warm cup of tea. The gentle sizzle of eggs in the pan. For many people, especially those in their 50s and 60s, it's a cherished daily ritual, a moment of calm before the day begins. But what if I told you that this simple, soothing combination might be undermining one of the most important nutrients your body needs as it ages? Let's take a closer look at the science behind eggs and tea, and why the timing of your breakfast beverage might matter more than you think. Eggs, as you know, are packed with essential nutrients. One of the most overlooked is iron, specifically a form called heme iron, which is more easily absorbed by the body than the kind found in most plant foods. Iron is crucial for maintaining energy, supporting memory, and carrying oxygen to every cell in your body. Now here's the catch. Black and green tea, though filled with antioxidants and often praised for heart and brain health, also contain tannins, a type of natural compound that binds to iron in the digestive tract. When you drink tea with or immediately after a meal containing iron, those tannins can prevent your body from absorbing that iron efficiently. This effect is particularly strong with heme iron from animal sources, like eggs. In fact, studies published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition have shown that drinking tea with an iron-rich meal can reduce iron absorption by up to 60%. That's not a small number. And for older adults, it's especially concerning. As we age, the risk of iron deficiency anemia increases, not just from poor intake, but from reduced absorption. The symptoms are subtle at first: low energy, brain fog, pale skin, shortness of breath when climbing stairs. But over time, they can impact everything from your sleep quality to your heart health. Susan, a 62-year-old retired teacher from Oregon, learned this the hard way. She had always followed a healthy routine: scrambled eggs on whole grain toast and a big mug of Earl Grey tea every morning. But despite getting 8 hours of sleep, she felt drained by mid-morning. Her doctor finally checked her iron levels, and they were low. What surprised her most wasn't that she was deficient, but how easily she could correct it simply by adjusting the timing of her tea. So here's what you can do. Instead of drinking tea during or right after your meal, try waiting 45 to 60 minutes. This small shift gives your body time to absorb the iron from your eggs before the tannins interfere. Or if you enjoy sipping something warm with breakfast, consider switching to a herbal tea like chamomile, peppermint, or ginger. These don't contain tannins and may even help ease digestion, making them a better partner for your morning meal. Another great option: a small glass of fresh orange juice. The vitamin C enhances iron absorption and pairs beautifully with eggs. Just be mindful of the portion. Too much citrus on an empty stomach can be irritating for some. It's amazing how one minor adjustment, just choosing when you drink your tea, can make such a big difference in how your body feels and functions. Have you ever had that mid-morning crash after breakfast and wondered why? If so, try shifting your tea just a bit later and see how your energy responds. And if you've already discovered this trick, share your experience in the comments. Your story could really help someone else. If this insight was helpful, go ahead and tap the like button. It lets us know we're on the right track. And if you're finding value in these small but powerful nutrition lessons, be sure to subscribe Golden Wise Elders and turn on the notification bell. Mistake 4. Eggs and white bread. The breakfast duo that feels right but fails you quietly. Let's talk about a breakfast you've probably had hundreds of times, maybe even this morning. A couple of eggs, scrambled or fried, nestled next to 2 slices of soft toasted white bread. It's simple, it's fast, and for many people, it's a comforting staple they've relied on for years. But here's the question: if it feels so familiar, why does it leave so many people feeling tired, foggy, or hungry again just an hour later? Meet Linda, a 64-year-old grandmother of 4 from Michigan. Every morning, she made herself the same breakfast: 2 eggs, white toast, and a small glass of juice. For years, it felt like a safe choice. But lately, she started to notice something strange. Around 10 a.m., her energy would crash. She'd feel shaky, irritable, and distracted. Some days, she reached for coffee. Other days, she skipped her morning walk altogether. She assumed it was just getting older. But the truth had more to do with what was on her plate. Let's break it down. Eggs are an excellent source of protein, healthy fats, and brain-boosting nutrients like choline and vitamin B12. They help stabilize energy, support memory, and keep you full longer. When paired with the right kind of carbohydrates, the problem lies in the bread. White bread is made from refined flour that's been stripped of most of its fiber, vitamins, and minerals. It digests quickly, too quickly, causing a rapid spike in blood sugar, followed by a crash that leaves you feeling sluggish, unfocused, and hungry all over again. And this isn't just a harmless dip in energy. According to research from the Harvard School of Public Health, frequent blood sugar spikes and crashes are strongly associated with increased insulin resistance, inflammation, and a higher risk of developing type 2 diabetes and cardiovascular disease, especially in adults over 50. When you pair white bread with eggs, your body ends up in a tug of war. The eggs are trying to stabilize your energy, while the bread is pushing your blood sugar up and down like a roller coaster. You might feel full at first, but within 60 to 90 minutes, you're reaching for a snack, yawning, or wondering why your mind feels cloudy. So what can you do instead? Try swapping that white toast for whole grain or sprouted bread. These breads still offer the warmth and texture you love, but with added fiber that slows digestion, supports gut health, and keeps your blood sugar stable for hours. Or better yet, serve your eggs with roasted sweet potatoes, which are rich in complex carbs, beta-carotene, and antioxidants. They'll keep you energized and help your body absorb more nutrients from the eggs themselves. Still love toast? Add a topping with healthy fats like mashed avocado or natural nut butter to balance the meal and keep your hunger in check. These aren't big changes, but they add up. A better breakfast can mean more stable moods, more clarity, more strength for your morning walk or time with your grandkids. And who doesn't want that? So here's a question for you. Have you ever noticed feeling tired or low energy after your usual egg and toast breakfast? If so, tell us in the comments below. You're not alone, and your story might help someone else finally make the change they've needed for years. If this video is opening your eyes to how small food choices shape your health, give it a like so we know to keep creating content like this. And if you haven't already, tap that subscribe button. We're here every week with real-world tips to help you eat smarter and live stronger at every age. Coming up next, let's flip the script. What happens when you do pair eggs with the right foods? We'll reveal the combos that can boost your vision, bone strength, and digestion naturally and deliciously. Stay with me. You won't want to miss it. We've shared a lot today. 4 common pairings that seem harmless, even comforting, but could quietly be draining your energy, blocking your nutrient absorption, and putting extra pressure on your heart, liver, and nerves. But here's the good news. You don't need to give up eggs. You just need to pair them wisely, because the truth is, your body is incredibly smart. It's always communicating with you through your energy, your focus, your digestion. And the more you listen, the more power you have to support your health, your independence, and your joy every single day. So if you've seen yourself in these stories, if you've ever felt tired after breakfast, foggy before lunch, or just a little off even when eating what you thought was healthy, take it as a gentle invitation, not a criticism. Small changes add up. Swapping white bread for sweet potatoes, delaying your tea by an hour, choosing avocado instead of goose. These aren't sacrifices. They're investments in your energy, your clarity, and your strength. So let us know, what egg mistake have you been making without even realizing it? And what small change are you ready to try starting tomorrow? Drop your answer in the comments. You never know who your story might help. If this video gave you something to think about or something to change, please tap the like button, share it with someone you love, and subscribe to Golden Wise Elders. Every week we're here with real advice, real stories, and small choices that lead to big health wins, especially after 50. Remember, it's not just what you eat, it's what your body can use that matters. Fuel it with love, feed it with care, and it will carry you farther than you ever imagined. We'll see you in the next video.